How's it going, everyone, and welcome to today's video. In this one, we are going to find out which are the top 5 countries that have the most bald men. Before we get into that list, after I've finished speaking, I want you to pause the video, go down into the comment section below and comment which country do you think has the highest ratio of bald men. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, I hope you had a good guess. I really think the number 1 country with the most bald men is going to surprise you. So, in at number 5, the country with 39.4% of its men going bald is the good old USA. I know a good deal of my audience here on Bald Cafe is from the USA. I think that might have surprised a few of you. But a shout out to all of the guys watching from the USA. Now, next up at number 4 on the list with 39.01%, it's France. And who can forget our friend Caesar waving the bald flag for France. We had him on the podcast before, cracking lad. In at number 4, it's France. Number 3 on the list with 41.24% of men going bald, it's Germany. Things are getting serious now, and number 2 on the list, I found this one very surprising. With all that sun, the Mediterranean diet, the red wine, the olive oil. Number 2 on the list is Spain, with 42.6% of its men experiencing male pattern baldness. And so we arrive at the number 1 spot. Did you have a guess? Well, number 1 on the list is the Czech Republic, with 42.79% of its men experiencing baldness, and it has the highest ratio of bald to not bald men. That one was pretty surprising there, almost at 50%. Now, honestly, before I had a look at these top countries of baldness, I honestly thought that the top spot was going to go to the UK. And there might be some audience watching in the UK who probably thought the same thing. Maybe you're going bald yourself and you just notice a lot of bald guys over there in England. You walk into any pub or any restaurant, you're bound to see a good old handful of bald guys. But actually, the UK comes in at number 10 on this list, with a ratio of bald to not bald guys making up 36% of the men there in England. So what does all this mean? Well, apart from being rather surprising, I want to draw your attention to the number in those ratios. You see, this study was actually done back in the 2000s by a Japanese wig manufacturer. They went out into the population of all these different countries, hitting up a few major cities in those countries, and they surveyed the population of guys walking by. Okay, there's a bald guy, put a little tick. There's a not bald guy, put a little tick on the tally, and then they worked out those ratios from those surveys. And so those countries, a little bit surprising, but again, like I said, those ratios, really quite high. Again, it shows us such a large number of men are going to experience male pattern baldness in their life. And honestly, I take comfort from that. It shows guys who are worrying about losing their hair that they're not alone, okay? It's gonna happen to so many guys. There's nothing wrong with you if it happens to you. And another awesome thing is it shows us that there's loads of guys out there embracing the hair loss, rocking it, cracking on with it. And to all those guys who are struggling with it, look at all of those guys you can turn to for advice, for motivation, for a bit of inspiration, okay? It just shows us that there's a lot of us out there. Now, as a little bonus, what about the country that experiences the least amount of male pattern baldness? I did a little poll on YouTube and we had some really awesome guesses. Some of you guys guessed correctly. How ironic, it is of course China. The ratio of Chinese men experiencing baldness is way down there at 19%. But something that is really interesting is over the last few years, there's a lot of articles talking about this. The amount of men in China experiencing male pattern baldness is actually on the rise. And the whole hair loss industry with the shampoos and the minoxidils is growing by insane numbers every year in China. I'm gonna make more videos on that because again, it's a really interesting topic. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure you smash that subscribe button because I've got so much awesome content on the way. I hope you guys made some good guesses and comment down below. Why do you think Czech makes up the #1 spot? And why do Asian countries seem to experience less male pattern baldness? I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on that. As always, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you smash that thumbs up button and help more people see the video. I want to thank you again for watching, and I, of course, will see you in the next video. Goodbye.